The diplomatic outpost on Oza 9 was a strange blend of steel and crystal, its architecture inspired by both human practicality and alien elegance. Tensions between the Union of Terran Systems and the Ashari Ascendancy had cooled enough for joint cooperation projects, but centuries of suspicion weren't undone overnight. For Sergeant Isaac Rowe, it was just another assignment. Guard the embassy, make sure no one did anything stupid, and stay the hell out of galactic politics. He didn't volunteer for first contact missions or cultural liaisons. He liked predictable things. Gravity, protein bars, a working coffee machine. But nothing about Lieutenant Ciravel was predictable. The Ashari warrior stood nearly a foot taller than Isaac. Her sleek black exosuit shimmered with an iridescent hue, and her face was a mask of discipline. Angular with silver-tinted skin, sharp violet eyes, and retractable fin-like crests along her jawline that flared subtly when she was agitated. Isaac had seen her rip a combat dummy in half during training. She was terrifyingly competent, unnervingly silent, and seemingly indifferent to the humans she worked with. Most steered clear of her. But Isaac, he had a habit of talking too much when he was nervous. "Morning, Lieutenant," he said casually one day as they patrolled the crystalline corridors of the outpost. "You look beautiful today." He said it out of habit, the way you'd compliment a sunrise or a sleek spacecraft. It wasn't romantic, at least not consciously. He hadn't expected her to flinch. Her eyes widened. The fins along her jawline flared open fully. She stopped walking. What did you say?" she asked, voice tight. Isaac blinked. I said you look beautiful today. Just an observation." The corridor was suddenly too quiet. Somewhere behind them, a cleaning drone buzzed as it glided past. Ciravel tilted her head, studying him as if he'd just sprouted wings. "No male of your species has ever said that to me. Not like that." Her voice was softer now, almost puzzled. Isaac scratched the back of his neck. "You look like a sentient who can punch through a wall and win a fashion contest in the same day. Seems beautiful to me." Silence stretched. Then she did something Isaac had never seen before. She laughed. It wasn't a sarcastic chuckle or a formal vocalization. It was genuine, bright, and completely unexpected. It bounced off the corridor walls like music, and it made his heart skip. Ciravel brought a hand to her mouth as if she wasn't sure the sound had come from her. "You are strange," she said, still smiling, but in an agreeable way. "Glad to be weird," Isaac replied, trying not to grin like a fool. Over the next few days, Ciravel changed. Subtly at first. She lingered during patrol briefings. Her responses became less curt. Once, she even shared a spicy fruit ration native to her homeworld, which she claimed tasted like lightning. He agreed after one tear-filled bite. They trained together. She showed him how the Ashari used fluid motion and leverage rather than brute force. He taught her how to throw a human-style punch. To an outsider, they might have looked like comrades. But Isaac started to notice the little things. The way her eyes searched for him in a crowd, how her fins twitched when he smiled. One evening, while watching the gas storms dance across the horizon through a viewing dome, Isaac found the courage to ask, "Did I say something inappropriate that day? About you being beautiful?" Ciravel looked at him quietly, then responded with something unexpected again. "No. But it was dangerous." "Dangerous?" he echoed, frowning. "To a Ashari female," she said carefully. "A compliment from a male, especially a sincere one, is more than flattery. It is an offering. A signal." "A signal of what?" Her gaze didn't waver. "Of intent." Isaac's stomach did a flip. "Wait, like romantic intent. Among our kind, A male who calls a warrior beautiful is declaring his readiness to pursue. Her voice grew quieter. It is rare, powerful. And it is not done lightly. Isaac looked at her. The fierce warrior. The alien soldier. The woman whose presence made him feel something strange and honest and raw. Well, he said, his voice steady. Maybe it wasn't so accidental after all. Everything changed after that night. They spent more time together. They discussed music, though the Ishari found Terran jazz deeply unsettling, and cuisine, where she introduced him to fermented vine bugs that tasted suspiciously like chicken. He started noticing her laugh more often, and not just at him. She began wearing a subtle glaze on her skin, a Ishari custom like human cologne. When he asked about it, she simply replied, "It is for those whose presence I desire." Rumors started in the outpost. Human and Ishari fraternization was technically allowed but highly frowned upon. The command staff issued a formal warning, but Isaac and Ciravel never crossed any lines. Still the tension grew. And then the attack happened. A splinter faction of anti-Union Ishari insurgents, calling themselves the Fractured Dawn, launched a surprise strike on the outpost. Explosives crippled the comms array. Power systems went down. Emergency lighting bathed the halls in blood-red hues. Isaac had just cleared the mess hall when he heard the scream. Not a human voice. Alien, guttural, pain-laced. Iran. He found Ciravel bleeding, pinned beneath a collapsed support beam. Her left arm was crushed. 3 insurgents were moving in, blades drawn, hissing threats. They didn't see Isaac coming. He took out the first with a combat knife to the throat. The second turned in time to catch a plasma round to the head. The third slashed at him, caught his side, but Isaac grabbed the attacker's wrist, twisted, and slammed him into the wall hard enough to crack bone. Then it was just Isaac and Ciravel, and the sound of sirens. "Damn it," he muttered, trying to lift the beam. It was too heavy. "You came back," she whispered, pain in her voice. "Of course I did." She reached up weakly, touching his cheek. "You still call me beautiful now?" His hands trembled. "Always." She smiled through the pain. And then the emergency medbots arrived. Ciravel recovered. Slowly. Isaac stayed at her side every moment he was allowed. She never let go of his hand during those long hospital days. And when she could speak without strain, she told him the truth. "I thought I was a weapon," she said softly, lying against the recovery cushion. "Even to my own kind. Ishari males feared me. Superiors respected me but never saw me. But you didn't flinch when I was angry. You didn't fear my scars." "I still don't," Isaac replied. "You're not a weapon. You're just you." "Because of you," she said, "I began to wonder if I could be more." Months passed. The outpost was rebuilt. The Union and Ascendancy launched a joint security initiative, citing the bravery of Sergeant Rowe and Lieutenant Ciravel as a symbol of cooperation. Media dubbed them the Blade and the Bastion. And then, one evening beneath the glowing twin moons of Oza 9, Ciravel approached Isaac as he finished his shift. She was wearing the ceremonial armor of her people, polished, gleaming, proud. But her eyes held something gentler. "I've received orders," she said. His stomach tightened. "Transfer." She nodded. "Back to Ishara Prime. Military Academy. Instructor role." He tried to keep his voice steady. "That's prestigious." "It is. But I will not go alone." Isaac blinked. "What do you mean?"